Welcome back, viewers. You are still tuned into Prime Live. It is such a pleasure and an immense privilege to welcome Riyaadh Amod into studio with us this evening. Now, he is a sport coach as well as the owner and founder of Fitx, and he is also a swimming coach. We are going to be talking more about his entrepreneurial journey, but also about his passion and his commitment to teaching children to, yes, lead healthy and fit lifestyles, but also to develop healthy habits and to also make a learning environment that is fun and exciting, but also whilst teaching incredibly important life-saving skills. So join us as we delve into the importance of fitness and incorporating it into young children's lives, as well as Riyadh's journey as a coach. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for joining us on Prime Live.
Wa alaikum assalam, Nazia. It's a privilege to be here.
It's really, really cool that we get to sit down and have this conversation, because it's so amazing to see how far you have come. I mean, from our younger days, swimming for Atlanta Swimming Club, and now seeing you impart that passion and that excitement that we enjoyed so much as children onto others is so incredible. And it's amazing to see how much you've achieved and how far you've come. But can you tell us a bit more about starting Fitx Kids and what inspired you to start Fitx Kids?
Thank you for all of those lovely compliments, Nazia. So basically, I started off following the same journey I've always followed. I've always been passionate about sports, passionate about teaching people, and really motivated to make something of myself. So it felt like a natural progression, starting a degree in sports psychology. I always knew I wanted to go into sports science, sports coaching, something within the fitness industry, but I always wanted to help our own communities. So with Fitx Kids, it's a business that my cousin and I started. We both had the same vision, to start something for kids within our own community, our own Muslim children, but everybody at large, to help them become the best versions of themselves, and also to provide a service that not many other people are providing to our children out there. A scientific way of bringing our children up through sport and allowing them and giving them more opportunities to grow and to become leaders of their own.
No, I think it's an incredible initiative. I mean, thinking back to how much we benefited from having sport in our lives, from having that sense of community, and for having something fun and exciting to do. Yes, very time consuming, but something that is very fun and exciting to do, that would bring you opportunities and expose you to spaces and to people you probably wouldn't have met before. So I love that you're bringing this concept back to communities and giving Muslim kids an opportunity to explore, and also teaching them the importance of being healthy and active. It's incredibly important.
Exactly.
Particularly, you know, with these iPad kids, this new generation who are stuck behind laptops and computers and iPads, I think it's a nice way to also get them out. But can you talk to us more about some of the services that you offer for kids? I know our parents at home are really keen to find out what are some of the services you offer, and are there particular areas that you are based in, or are you mobile? Can you travel out to different areas?
Okay, cool. Let me answer your question in a few different stages. So I'll first start with the services we provide. So from a scientific point of view, we like to break down fitness into all of its different elements, such as agility, flexibility, endurance, speed, power, and flexibility. So we look at all of these different facets within fitness, and we try to bring our kids and create databases within each facet so that we can measure our kids from point A until point B. So for example, we are currently working within schools. It started off as a boot camp once a week at our houses, just a regular class. But since then, it's grown because we've had this vision that we want to grow it more. Our ultimate goal is to actually build a gym, a children's only gym. But we had to start somewhere, and it was obviously impossible for a university student to just put up a massive building and buy a lot of equipment and try to build that entire gym in one go. So we started off where we could, because I believe that if you take the right stepping stones and you work hard and your vision is right and you have the right mindset, the Almighty, He'll always provide for you what the best goal is for you, and we believe we are working towards that. So from back then, having our boot camps every Friday and Saturday, we've now grown into a company that moves to different schools and offers our services to different schools. We take their PE periods and we break it down such that we can provide these services where we measure these kids. We bring in a biokineticist also once a year, and we bring in another service at another part of the year, at another time during the year, such as a nutritionist or something like that. There, like this year, for example, we brought in the firemen to break down to our learners what it's like, what you should do in a fire, how to stay safe, and also it exposes them to different career opportunities. We believe that if our kids are exposed to these things, it's not only health, it's health and wellness. We want them to get a complete view of health and wellness, not just health, not just exercise, but everything that surrounds exercise and everything that we can make come from exercise. So yes, we're in schools currently. We do their break periods, some schools during break, some schools during their PE periods. And we're growing, slowly but surely we are growing, alhamdulillah. Thanks to the Almighty, we're in there. We're drawing up our own curriculum also. Myself and my fellow coaches, we're drawing up a curriculum to take throughout next year so that our kids will get the best of every single thing that they are capable of. And we also want them to be able to play any single sport that they want to. So before they go in to play that sport, we want to be able to help them build their foundation so that when they go and play that sport, they already are ready to play the sport. They don't need to start from ground one. They already have a basis and a foundation where they can step right in and be ahead of the other children.
I think also beyond this being fun activities for the kids and fun for them to find something that they're passionate about, being able to try all these different things and try different sports and finding where their passion is. What people don't also think about is these are really important life-saving skills. Things like, getting in touch with firefighters and learning firefighting, skills and techniques is incredibly important as a life-saving skill. And then I also want to talk about the fact that you are also a coach at AQUAfin.
Yes.
And talking about swimming, I mean, you were a swimmer as well, and you swam competitively for so many years. But beyond that as well, it also is an important life-saving skill for children as well. Talk to us a little bit more about your swim coaching, some of the services that is offered, and then also the importance of, the idea of teaching your kids how to swim.
Okay. So basically, I've been teaching swimming since the time I have been a swimmer. Since then, it was a natural progression. If you don't do, teach. I followed that same philosophy in my own life, and I am where I am today. I just opened my own swim school in Norwood, Houghton, and we are already moving. We've got a lot of swimmers. We're teaching the community how to swim. We're also one of the only Muslim schools in and around the area. We cater to everybody, but obviously for our Muslim children, it's nice that there's a Muslim school in and around the area with Maghrib time, Asr time, Salah times, all of these things. We have female coaches for female-only classes because we want to cater to everybody. So yeah, it's important to learn how to swim because obviously we know in our own country, there's so many incidents that happen with kids that go back home at the end of the year when they go to their villages, or children are on holiday, when you go to the beach, and any incident can happen at any moment. So beyond the realm of just teaching kids how to swim competitively, we want to be able to teach them to look after themselves in and around water and just be able to be confident in and around water and give the parents peace of mind when they are on holiday or when they're at Nani or Daddy's house and there's a pool around, to know that, okay, if my child jumps into the pool by mistake or they fall into the pool, they know how to look after themselves. So in our programs, we actually combine safety with learning how to swim. So we try to keep it engaging, where the kids don't actually feel like they're just learning drills. We try to make it fun. We try to make it exciting. We use different techniques. We use different products, different items, different equipment, different types of equipment to help the kids learn to swim so that they feel more comfortable. And we try to explain to them how to mimic those equipment with something in and around them if something happens around the water. So for example, if we're using a pool noodle, we can explain to the kids that if you are at the pool and somebody falls into the pool, you can use a stick instead of using a pool noodle. You can throw in a tube for somebody, and don't jump inside the pool if somebody jumps inside the pool and is drowning. So yeah.
I think there's beyond this, being life-saving skills for themselves, they're also able to help others in that way as well. And I think anyone who's been in the competitive swimming space had that natural progression to start teaching afterwards. I did as well a little bit throughout campus, but I love that you've taken it a step further and you can see how passionate you are about teaching children about, yes, the importance of, being safe in the water and being able to help others as well. And also maybe even fostering those kids who want to get into the competitive space as well. But with Fitx Kids and with your swim school as well, I think what is important and what is the underlying message of your passion is also to teach kids to have something that is fun and exciting for them to do other than school, something that's passionate, they can become passionate about, or they can find a space where they feel they belong. And I want to talk about, the aspect you mentioned earlier, which is overall health and well-being, and when it comes to also mental health as well. Can you talk to us a bit more about why it's so important to encourage kids to do these kind of extracurricular activities? Yes, to instill a sense of passion and fun into their lives, but also for the aspect of mental health and overall health and well-being.
So we realized at AQUAfin and at Fitx Kids that there is a pandemic out there based on mental health, that a lot of children are not okay. And it's really sad because they're kids and they're supposed to be enjoying their lives. It's the best times of their lives to just have fun and let loose. But because of external pressures such as school, tuition, and at such a young age, they already have this pressure to succeed in life. And we actually see that a lot of these kids don't have any outlets. So we believe that with our product, we're giving these kids an outlet. And we also realize that building relationships with children is much more important than the service you are providing. They can learn more from you and the person that you are instead of what you are giving them. So our ethos at Fitx Kids and at AQUAfin is to treat the child with respect and dignity and treat them the way you would like to be treated, because at the end of the day, they are also growing up, they are maturing, and the things that they experience at this young age carries with them throughout their lives. If you can give them a positive experience, you might create a life. You might give somebody an opportunity to become something in life. Your motivational words today can be something that they listen to in the future in the back of their minds when they're experiencing something difficult. So we want all of these kids to be mentally stable. It gives them such a nice outlet to come to swimming relaxed. There's no pressure for them to succeed. Obviously, we want them to succeed, but we don't push them past their boundaries. We get them out of their comfort zones because we believe that that's what it takes to grow as a human being. But we don't bully our kids. We don't believe in shouting kids. We don't believe in hard discipline. We believe that the kids of today are different from the kids that we were and maybe our parents were. It's a completely different generation. Even the way they sit inside and play games the whole day, or they might be playing Xbox or PlayStation, we understand that. We know that they want to do that, and we're not pulling them out of their houses forcefully to do what we want them to do. We want them to want to do it. And from the response we've seen and the way we are moving forward, it seems that we are doing a pretty good job. So inshallah, it will carry on.
I think you've highlighted such incredible points there, is that this generation of children are completely different to previous generations in the sense that there's an additional amount of pressure placed on them in terms of the fact that social media exists, and beyond the academic pressure, they have the social pressure that exists amongst their peers. How they perceive themselves has a lot to do with what's going on social media. And I think integrating them back into the space where they're exposed to sports, being out in nature, being out of the house and doing something that's fun and engaging, making friends, learning those social skills, and then also having these young coaches who are good role models for them, immerses them in such a great environment. But before we let you go, I think the biggest question our viewers have at home is, how can parents contact you for, whether it is for AQUAfin or Fitx, how can they get in touch with you? How do they book their next class? Or if there are any educators out there who want to bring Fitx or AQUAfin to their schools, please do share your details.
You guys can visit us on our social medias. On Instagram, it's at FitXKids, that's FITXKIDS, and AQUAfin Academy on Instagram as well. Just pop us a DM and we'll reply to you.
Riyaadh, thank you so much for joining us this evening, as well as sharing your passion for health and well-being. And it's amazing to see how you've been able to instill your own passion and pave the way forward for young children. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Viewers at home, that was Riyaadh Amod from Fitx Kids as well as AQUAfin. So if you are at home or if you are an educator, please do reach out to them on their social media platforms to get your kids active and in a happy mental health space. It's important to provide these safe spaces for children to explore what they're passionate about, but also find a nice outlet away from the academic and social pressures of life. And of course, instilling healthy habits at a young age. So do reach out to them on their social media platforms, whether you're in for a fitness class or you are in for some swimming lessons. Remember, it is very, very important, and it is also sunnah to learn to swim. So do reach out to them on all their social media platforms. On that note, it is time for us to head over to an ad break, and we'll come right back.